Maybe not quite like this, but still got some work to do here.
So you've been in these Game 7 scenarios before. What's maybe, I know you try and treat every game the same, but they're just not. So what's different?
I mean, it's we really do have to approach it the same way. Obviously, the intensity has to be extremely high for the whole 60 minutes. That goes without saying. The little details of your game have to be great the whole night. But I mean, it comes down to playing our game, and from the start, we know how to play. We know how to get the job done. It's just a matter of starting that way and being able to maintain that.
What's the biggest challenge that you have to be cognizant about that you've seen in the prior 6 games against the Canucks that you'll have to mitigate in order to come out on top tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I think definitely not sitting back and letting them get momentum throughout the game. And obviously, they're a good team when they have the puck and they're rolling around our zone, and we got to stop that as fast as we can. It's about getting back to pucks quick and moving the puck up and not letting them feel good about their game down there. So, and a lot of that just comes down to us playing fast and putting pressure on their D and playing our game. So, I mean, it's obviously there's going to be shifts of momentum throughout a game. That's inevitable, but we got to nip it in the bud when we can.
Why do you feel like your team hasn't been able to play fast in spurts during the course of the series?
I mean, I think the intention is always there. There's obviously we're playing against a good team who makes it tough to do that for 60 minutes every night. But I mean, we just got to be able to find that tomorrow.
Zach Hyman referenced your work on the penalty kill last night. The 2 face-off wins, 5-on-3, and I know that you've had, face-offs, neutralized, whatever, right? But it's different out there. You were dug in. Just a thought on not just yourself, but the other guys on the PK unit that have done a good job here over the last couple of games against Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very good power play, both units. So I mean, we have to take pride in what we do out there, and like you said, I mean, you want to kill as much time as possible on the 5-on-3 and dig in as much as you possibly can on those face-offs. So I know the D-men did a great job. Stewie made a huge save there on Hughes. So I mean, it was great to get the job done, but it takes everybody for sure.
Ryan, a couple of years ago against the Kings, and I know it's a team game, but it was almost like Connor in that game was possessed and just said, we are not, he willed it that you're not going to win that game. I mean, was that one of the best games that you've seen him play, and you've seen him play a lot of great games?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some massive moments for our team, and we all want to step up and play our very best hockey. I know that he's going to want to play his best too. Like you said, I mean, that game was. He definitely took over, and then same thing kind of in the next series. So, but it's gonna take everybody. We know that, so we're gonna be prepared.
Do you feel like the power play is getting there? I mean, it's been a little, few games here, but you feel like you've made some strides last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think last game was better. I think Game 5. We could have been a little bit better. I mean, just a little sharper, a little quicker, and we know that. We take a lot of pride in it for sure. I thought last night was better. We had some looks. We generated a lot. Weren't able to find one, but I think we can build on that for sure.
You may or may not know Brock Besser's out. If you heard that news,
Just saw it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty dangerous guy. I wonder if that makes how much of a difference, or what kind of difference it might.
Not a whole lot of time to process it. Obviously, he's a great player for the team, but scary situation for him. So just wish him the best for sure.
Can I ask you, Game 7s have this sort of allure or drama. The heroes are made. I mean, do you think about that, or do you really try and approach it as not too much on the line, even though there is a lot on the line?
I don't know if I mean, I don't approach it kind of as an individual in that sense. I mean, I'm going to do whatever I personally can to help the team get a win. I think that's everybody's mindset in there, and we know what's on the line, definitely. But I don't know if guys are thinking too much about that. It's more do whatever you can to get the job done.
What it meant to you to get the tap on the shoulder, knowing that you'd be drawing in for a pivotal Game 6 yesterday, and just kind of the emotions you also had to work through in leading up, getting back into the line?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you in the back of your mind, you're staying ready mentally and physically as well, obviously. So I think that's the easy part is doing all that and staying ready. But when you do get the call that you're going, I think you get a lot of emotions, a lot of excitement and anxiousness. And once the game started, I think I settled down and any other hockey game type mentality. But it was nice to get that first shift out of the way for sure.
How do you balance the idea of wanting to perform and bring this team the minutes that your role entails, but also not putting too much pressure on yourself where you're playing out of your own game and in turn being a detriment to what you're hoping to bring?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. You don't want to be doing too much out there where all of a sudden you're, trying to do someone else's job. I think as a team, if we each just do our own job and focus on what our responsibility is, especially in the D zone, we're not running around, and that's when we're a really tough team to play against. Is we're connected as 5-man units, and for myself, I mean that was my mindset is kind of do what got me here type mindset where play a strong game, obviously defensively sound, and obviously I'm always looking to chip in on offense as well. So that was the mindset.
Your game is getting to the body, and you did that a lot last game. How in a Game 7 situation, I think the physical temperature probably naturally goes up. How important do you think that is, for you and the whole group to do in that game?
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's obviously the 7th game we played against these guys, so there's been a lot of history, and going back to Game 1, I think that's why you do want to come out early on in the series physical, because once you get to these Game 7s, guys can start to be a little bit worn out, and especially defense when they're getting hit all the time on forechecks. They're second guessing making plays, and sometimes you can create some turnovers. So Game 7 is no different for myself. That's my game. So yeah, I'll be looking to go out there and create turnovers and hopefully rub some guys out.
Can you talk about Game 7? I mean, a lot on the line. It seems like it's a blend of maybe a bit of nerves and immense amount of excitement. Have you been in one before? And if so, what that was like, or what this might be like for a first time?
Well, this is what every kid dreams of playing hockey growing up is Game 7. When you're playing road hockey or whatever, that's what you're imagining. So it's super exciting. I've been in American Hockey League Game 7s, and obviously this is a whole new level. So super excited. Just can't wait for the game to start tomorrow, really.
I know you briefly touched on some components already, but what elements of your game did you like personally yesterday?
I think I liked just creating turnovers, and especially the first 2 periods when the game was still tight. It was a close game, and I think we were able to do that. We were able to possess the puck, have some offensive zone shifts, and that was part of my game, obviously. And anytime we do get a defensive zone start, I think that the goal of our line is to put the next line into a good position. When we change. So I thought we did a pretty good job of that. And obviously Vancouver's a really good team, and they're gonna have some pressure. And I think for the most part we did a good job of containing it.
Sorry, Sam, I got one more question for you. Leading up to a pivotal Game 7 with the season on the line, and being relatively new to this group, what's one thing that instills the belief that you guys can get the job done about this group specifically?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've believed in this group since the day I got here, really. Nothing's really changed there. We always knew that this was a Stanley Cup contending team. So it's here we are. I mean, obviously, we knew there'd be some adversity along the way, and, we knew we'd face a lot of really good teams. Vancouver's a really good team, and they've had their moments in this series where it's been back and forth. So I think both teams will bring their best game tomorrow night, and I do like our group, and obviously we have a lot of confidence in ourselves that we can beat anyone when we bring our A game.
News out of the day about Brock Besser being out. I don't know if you could say much about what it's like for a team maybe to lose one of their top players and how it might impact a crucial Game 7.
It's amazing when you lose a player like that. Obviously, you look at your lineup and your lineup's weaker just without a top player. I've seen it numerous times, but it's amazing how guys step up. Everyone steps up, and collectively, sometimes you're just a better team. And you can, in the long term, it's not a recipe for success, but short term, it's just you look at what happened in the Boston series, losing Marchand. Yeah, we got to be ready. Obviously they're missing a good player, or we anticipate that's going to happen, but we have to anticipate a team that's going to be really stepping up their game.
Do you anticipate any changes coming for you? Is Henrique more available than he was before, or do you think the same lineup? Or?
No, Adam won't be ready. We do have maybe a question mark or two. Very likely it'll be a similar lineup that we had yesterday, if not the same.
Is there, I know in the playoffs you don't talk a lot about injuries, but I wonder more about sickness, if it's something you guys have been dealing with as a group or if it's isolated.
Yeah, there's some guys who have some sickness, a little under the weather, and have been battling through it. Fortunately, a couple guys, just minor stuff. Maybe one or two guys a little more impacted by it, but are trending up. But last game we were able to manage those minutes a little bit, especially later in the game. And it's something that every team goes through, whether it's regular season, playoffs, or both. But I thought we've had other guys step up and play well.
When it comes to the game plan that you look for your group to execute, was yesterday from start to finish the best execution of that game plan?
Well, one thing we wanted to do was just manage the puck a little bit better. And just obviously not turning over pucks. And I think Game 5, I don't think we turned over the puck, but we didn't make any plays. And I thought our decision-making was better. We were able to execute, and we were able just to attack with more speed and control rather than just make the safe play and punt it all the time and play that type of game. Now, that being said, Game 5 was a lackluster performance from us, and I would think that if you were asking Vancouver, they'd probably evaluate their game very similar to how we evaluated our game in Game 5. They're going to be better. We're going to have to be ready for that, and I'd like to say, when you see wins and losses, often it's you look at your team and like, you won, you did everything well. If you lost, you did everything poorly. And it's not always that case. You have to respect on how the other team did. Did they do things well or they did not? And I think Game 5, a lot of credit to Vancouver. They did some things well. And I think Game 6, they didn't play as well as they're capable of. And we fully anticipate them playing their best Game 7.
Game 7, it's something that I guess there's a certain allure to it, a drama, a build-up. You kind of had a Game 7 already, and that you had to win last night. But what do you make of this opportunity?
It's going to be a lot of fun in the building here in Vancouver, and playing against a good hockey team. And I'm looking forward to it. I know our players are looking forward to it. You, as a elite athlete, you always want pressure-filled games where they mean the most. And what better situation than a gold medal game or a Game 7 matchup? And here we have it tomorrow.
How about you on an individual level? How much do you embrace the pressures of coaching your first Game 7 at the NHL level?
This is my first Game 7 ever as a player or coach. Any situation like that, I've the only time I've been in a situation like that is a World Juniors gold medal game. But for being a head coach in NHL and Game 7, it's going to be a great experience, and I'm looking forward to it.